Hi everyone, my name is Rocha. I'm an artist and an educator, and I have a great video and lesson for you guys. But before we get started, I want to ask you, what kind of chronotype are you? Let me put it to you this other way. When do you feel the most productive? Is it in the morning, in the afternoon, in the evening, or late at night? In this video that I'm titling The Hidden Clock, Photographing Your Internal Rhythm, we're going to cover 5 different objectives. The first one is we're going to define what chronotype means. We're going to learn about the findings of Dr. Michael Bruce and his 4 different chronotypes. We're going to learn a little bit about our ancestors and their role as a society and how that shifted with the industrial age. We're going to answer what our chronotype is. We're going to finally understand what that means. And then finally, I have a photography assignment for you guys. But before we dive deep into this, I want to talk a little bit about myself. I've been teaching for 21 years, but prior to that, I went to kindergarten, grade school from 1st through 12. I did 4 years for my bachelor's and 2 years for my master's. Adding to that, for the 21 years of teaching, that's 40 years of being in the school system. And let me tell you, that has never been easy for me. I always grew up with this idea or this quote that is, often said of the early bird gets the worm, but I never identify with it. I mean, I'm not the type of person that wakes up early in the morning uh, feeling happy and joyful. I'm always groggy and, the mornings are just not my type. So I always thought if I am not the morning type of person, then I'm going to be the person that, or the kind of bird that finds the worm at night. So by the time the early birds wake up, there's not going to be any worm. So let's identify what is chronotype. Chronotype is your internal personality. It's not about the personality, but about the biological timing patterns in you. And these are shaped by 5 different things: the circadian rhythm, in other words, like the 24-hour biological clock that's functioning inside of us, genetics, hormones, sleeping patterns, and environmental cues. Dr. Michael Bruce, in his book from 2016 titled The Power of When, Learn the Best Time to Do Everything, he covers 4 different types of chronotypes and he associated them to animals. And the most common one are bears. That, bears are take about 50 to 55% of most people. We have lions, we have wolves, and we have dolphins. Bears are commonly, known to be really energetic. They would wake up early in the morning, but earlier than them are lions. Lions are what we know of like the early birds. We have the wolves, which are often associated to the creative type, those that stay up all night and working on projects and things like that. And then we have the dolphins, and they're light sleepers. They have irregular cycles. They're highly anxious and just like a little bit different compared to all the other ones that have like a set standard of when they work best. So they kind of cope with a little bit of everything. Now let's talk about our ancestors. In that social structure of our ancestors back in nature, when things weren't like modern cities, I mean, they really had to play different roles in protecting each other. Some were hunters, others would prepare food, some of them would keep the fire going, some of them were night watchers, studying the stars and things like that. But as we move into the modern era, into the industrial age, things shifted. And biologically, since it hasn't been that many years, uh, it has taken a toll on our biological clock. Now we have 9 to 5 jobs. We have artificial lighting. we have TV screens and phones. We have all this modern technology that keeps us awake later at night, in contrast to our ancestors. And we have very rigid schedules, and these things really impacted in maybe giving us insomnia, or being less creative because we're forced to be creative at hours that are not natural. You know that Google and Pixar and Apple and companies that really understand creativity, they have very flexible hours so that people can work according to when they feel their best. I mean, they have quiet spaces, they have spaces where they can even take a nap if needed, and they avoid having morning meetings. I mean, who doesn't hate morning meetings? So the assignment, now that you understand the four different types of chronotypes and you can identify with one, I want you to go out there and I want you to take a picture of when you are the most productive. But I want you to give us a hint. It could be through the use of clocks, maybe having a specific hour, or maybe through the use of shadow or lighting, whether it be natural, a morning light, artificial light, uh, maybe by photographing a group of people, uh, depending on what time of day it is, but whenever you feel the most productive. And when you do and you post it on social media, please don't forget to tag me on rocha.rochelli. Please also check out my other assignments on my YouTube channel. And please give me a like if you enjoy what I'm doing, and it's greatly appreciated. So thank you so much, and I'll see you back on Friday.